convey is complete, we put a full stop. When there is a subtle break in the idea, we put a comma. When we are quoting somebody, we put quotation marks or double inverted commas, right? So there are certain such kind of punctuation marks whose understanding of the usage of these punctuation marks is very essential for you. It brings in clarity in your work. It also brings effectiveness in your work, right? So what is the definition of punctuation? Coming back to it again, refers to the symbols used in writing to clarify meaning and structure. These symbols, they help the readers, whatever you write, whether you write a research paper or you write an article or you write your thesis, there are going to be readers beginning with your supervisor to your examiner. And when you convert your thesis, bring out your thesis in a book form, there are going to be hundreds, thousands of readers if your work is effective. So these symbols, they help the readers understand the intended message. What is the meaning of intended message? The message which you wish to convey, and also the relationship between the different parts of the sentence. Now, what is its importance in communication? Punctuation is crucial in effective communication as it helps in conveying the writer's tone and intent. What is intent? The writer's purpose, what the writer wishes to convey. Proper punctuation can prevent misinterpretation. If you have put proper punctuation in your content, it is not open to any misunderstanding. In fact, proper punctuation marks, they avoid any confusion, misunderstanding, misinterpretation, right? And also the clarity of your message is communicated. Let's see one example where we'll understand that if the punctuation marks are not put properly, there can be misinterpretation. Now, pay attention to the first sentence. Let's eat, comma, grandma. Right? Now, this sentence means let's eat, grandma. We are telling grandma, let's eat. And without punctuation, without this small comma, it becomes let's eat, grandma. As if we are telling to a group, let's eat our grandma. हम grandma को खा जाए. जबकि पहले वाले सेंटेंस में हम बताना चाह रहे हैं grandma, चलो हम खाना खाएं. So you can understand the importance of that small comma. So this example, it illustrates how a simple comma can change the entire meaning of a sentence. So this very sentence also, it highlights the importance of correct punctuation, right? In avoiding misunderstanding. Let's move ahead to the next slide. First punctuation mark, understand the full stop. We also call it as period. The usage of the full stop. The full stop, also known as period, is primarily means basically used to signify the end of a declarative sentence, the end of an idea. It indicates a complete thought and also a a clear stopping point. It is also a clear stopping point for the reader. Stopping point, that one idea, one thought is over. Now we move ahead to another idea, another thought. Ending a declarative sentence in which some idea is put forth. One of the main functions of the full stop is to conclude a sentence. For example, she went to the store. Now, whatever needed to convey is complete, that she went to the store. right? She has gone to the store. So period after store conveys a complete idea, and we are punctuating that complete idea with a full stop to indicate its conclusion. Full stop is also used in abbreviations. For example, we are shortening something, doctor, dr, period, etc., etc., वगैरह वगैरह, etc., period, right? And see the spelling of etc. These only are the spellings of etc. जब etc के आप गलत स्पेलिंग आपको पता होते हैं तो आप बोलते भी गलत हो. It is etc. E-T-C-E-T-E-R-A. Right? So this usage, that is usage of the period in abbreviations, helps to denote that the abbreviation represent a shortened form of a longer term. What is the longer term? Doctor. Shortened dr, period, etc., shorten etc. Right? Another usage of a period, I was born in 1998, period. Here the full stop or the period, it marks the end of the statement. That is providing some factual information, the factual information about a person's birth, right? So please go through this slide before we proceed further and give me a thumbs up if you have understood what are we talking about so far. Today's lecture is about the usage of the punctuation mark in thesis writing. Thank you, Bhavna. Usage of punctuation mark in any other write-up. And the first punctuation mark which we have discussed is use of the full stop or the period. Please go through this for a second. Now we move ahead to the second punctuation mark, that is comma. Separating items in a list. For example, I am bringing forth before my readers a list. I want to separate the items. I bought apples, comma, oranges, comma, and bananas. Most of the time people think that, what is the need to put a comma before and? No, we put a comma before and also because the items which are being separated by the comma are very different. So the comma helps to delineate each fruit, to separate each fruit, enhancing the readability. We also use comma before the conjunctions, like I've already told you, and, but, or. There also we use comma. I wanted to go for a walk, comma, but it started to rain. So this usage clarifies the relationship between the two clauses. After introductory words, for example, commas, they should follow introductory words. Like, you pay attention to this sentence. After dinner, the introductory words are after dinner. We watched a movie. So the comma indicates a brief pause. For clarity, if you have to, very simply define a comma is a brief pause. छोटा pause जो होता है ना, उसको हम कॉमा से डिनोट करते हैं. और जब हमारा कोई सेंटेंस आइडिया कंप्लीट हो जाता है, हम पंक्चुएट करना चाहते हैं वो कंप्लीशन को, तो वी पुट अ पीरियड. आई होप द डिफरेंस इज क्लियर. Go through this slide for a second before we move to the next punctuation mark. We move ahead to the next punctuation mark. Very important one, question mark. So where do we make use of this question mark? primarily to indicate a direct question. It is an essential punctuation mark that signals to the reader that an inquiry is being made. Inquiry means we are trying to check out about something. Is it available? Is it unavailable? Is it done? Is it not done? So inquiry, question mark, is primarily used to indicate a direct question. And it gives a signal to the reader that an inquiry is being made. Placement of the question mark. It is placed at the end of a sentence, posing a direct question, and the reader recognizes the interrogative nature of the statement. The reader understands that what statement is there. It is not declarative. It is interrogative in nature. For example, where are you going? Question mark. We are asking information regarding someone's destination. Where is that particular person going? Did you complete your homework? Asking about, we want to know about the completion of a task that happens to be homework. We move ahead. The exclamation mark. This punctuation allows the writer to express excitement. Hooray, we have won the match. Surprise. What? Alarm. Alarm can be hurry. That can be alarm. So usage, this punctuation expresses excitement, surprise, alarm very, very effectively. Punctuation is used to convey intense feeling. It is a visual cue, visual symbol to denote that there is conveyance of intense feeling, right? It prompts immediate action and attention. Wow, that's amazing. Warning कैसे आया? Alarm कैसे आया? Stop, don't go there. Now there are different cultural variations about these exclamation marks also, right? So please go through this slide before we proceed further. So far we have briefly discussed 3 punctuation marks: period, comma, quotation marks, in fact 4, question mark, and also exclamatory mark. Please go through the slide. Give me a thumbs up if you have understood the lecture so far. Thank you, Rashi. Yes. Harpreet Singh. So we move to the 5th exclamation mark. As you have understood the purpose of this subject, the essentials of thesis writing. Essential of thesis writing, Mp-07. This course, it trains you to make usage of academic vocabulary, to understand the best reading techniques, to write effectively in academic and scholarly English. For that, we need to learn grammar. We need to have command over grammar, punctuation, spellings, right? For proper formatting, we need to know the rules of formatting. Our last lecture, the recorded version of that has been shared with you. This job of conducting your classes, sending you the links, recording our lectures, this is done by very good amongst the very good of my scholars, Vaibhav Bhatnagar. He studied from me long back, 1 year back, but still he considers his duty to send the link to you guys and also get the lectures recorded, refine the lectures and make all those lectures available to you. So whenever you listen to the lecture, please give a thumbs up as a mark of thank you. आपका कुछ भी नहीं जाता है. Give a thumbs up, like, share the lectures. Now give a thumbs up. You are very miser in giving a thumbs up also. कंजूस हो आप लोग, मक्खीचूस हो. एक थम्स अप देने में भी आपको जान निकलती है और आपको सब कुछ हम बहुत खुशी खुशी दिल से प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं. चलो, we move further. Understanding the colon, the usage of colon. Colon is two dots, right? They are primarily used to introduce a list, elaborations, right? There we use the colons. I'll give you example. She packed the essentials. मतलब उन्होंने essential items की पैकिंग कर ली. फिर कॉलन डाल के, टू डॉट्स डाल के essentials क्या है हम वो बता रहे हैं. Clothes, shoes and toiletries. तो हमने क्लोथ्स, शूज एंड टॉयलेटरीज के बीच में भी कॉमा डाला, ब्रीफ पॉज डाला. बट जब हमने अपनी लिस्ट को ले फोर्थ किया, जब हमने अपनी लिस्ट को स्टेट किया, तो शी पैक्ड द एसेंशियल्स. कॉलन एसेंशियल्स में क्या क्या आता है और उन्होंने क्या क्या पैक किया. एसेंशियल्स में और भी बड़े सारी चीजें आती है, बट उन्होंने जो पैक किया वो एसेंशियल्स की लिस्ट है. क्लोथ्स, शूज एंड टॉयलेटरीज. Colon is also used to introduce a direct quotation. The teacher said, colon, read chapter 5 for tomorrow. So we are going to distinguish from the statement to what is the statement. The teacher said, right? We are distinguishing what the teacher said. रीड चैप्टर 5 फॉर टुमारो. तो उससे पहले हमारा कॉलन लगेगा. अभी टीचर के वर्ड्स हमने जस्ट के तस यूज किए. वी आर कोटिंग द टीचर, सो वी हैव पुट रीड चैप्टर 5 फॉर टुमारो इन quotation marks or double inverted commas. Colon is also used to clarify the relationship between two clauses. Now, what is the punctuation rule for using a colon? Make sure that the clause before the colon is complete. Like the teacher said, that clause is complete. It is not a fragment or an incomplete sentence. Please go through this slide about the usage of colon, two dots. Colon is used to lay forth a list, like she packed the essentials, colon, clothes, toiletries, and whatever is the third item, right? Essentials. Colon is also used to, what we can say, introduce quotation, right? The teacher said. Now, before we introduce the quotation, we have put the colon. But we have to make sure that when we put the colon, the clause before the colon is complete. I hope this is clear. The use of colon. Give me a thumbs up before we proceed further. No thumbs up means no attendance. No thumbs up means you're not listening. You are merely there. Coming to apostrophe. Apostrophe is like, to show possession. This is John's book. After John, we put apostrophe and then the S. This is John's book, right? So we use apostrophe to show possession. We also use apostrophe to form contractions. You are. When we have to make a contraction of it, after you, we put apostrophe and we put only RE. So URE means you are. That is a contraction. Usage of the apostrophe in two places to show possession and also to form contractions, right? Now coming next, semicolon, right? Semicolon is separating a complex list. For example, we say on our trip. कॉम्प्लेक्स लिस्ट हमारी में सिमिलैरिटी नहीं है, जैसे पहले था कि एप्पल, मैंगोज, ऑरेंजेस, बनानास, एक ही चीज थी, वो सारे फ्रूट्स थे, ठीक है। अभी जो है हमारी लिस्ट जो है वो कॉम्प्लेक्स है। ऑन आवर ट्रिप वी विजिटेड पेरिस, फ्रांस, सेमीकॉलन, रोम, इटली, सेमीकॉलन, एंड बर्लिन, कॉमा, जर्मनी। सो हमारी जो लिस्ट है इसमें डिफरेंट कंट्रीज है, इसमें फ्रांस है, इसमें इटली है, इसमें जर्मनी है। तो हमने जो डिस्टिंक्ट लोकेशंस हैं उनको क्लैरिफाई करने के लिए सेमीकॉलन का यूजेज करा है, राइट? जब दो इंडिपेंडेंट क्लॉजेस को भी हम कनेक्ट करते हैं, then also we use a semicolon. I have a big test tomorrow, semicolon. I can't go out tonight. So these are two independent clauses. I have a big test tomorrow. अपने आप में पूरा है वो, complete thought, big test tomorrow. But there is a relation between this idea and another idea. Because I have a big test tomorrow, I can't go out tonight. So this semicolon, it emphasizes the relationship between the two statements, right? So semicolon, it serves primarily two purposes in writing. First of all, it connects to independent clauses, allowing a very smooth transition. And secondly, it connects a very complex list. It separates the items in a complex list. I'll again tell the example. On our trip, comma, we visited Paris, France, semicolon, Rome, comma, Italy, semicolon, Berlin, comma, Germany. Paris and France. France is the country, Paris is the capital. ठीक है, ये एक हो गया। सेमीकॉलन के बाद हमने दूसरा कंट्री लिया, इटली, उसका कैपिटल रोम। तीसरा कंट्री जर्मनी, उसका कैपिटल बर्लिन। सो जब हमारी कॉम्प्लेक्स लिस्ट होती है तो उसको डिस्टिंग्विश करने के लिए हम सेमीकॉलन का इस्तेमाल करते हैं। नाउ कम्स नेक्स्ट इज योर quotation marks. When you are quoting the exact words of a speaker, we use the quotation marks, right? So usage of quotation marks. Primarily, they are used to indicate direct speech. So this allows the readers to understand what a character is speaking. Or these are the quotation marks or double inverted commas. Some character is speaking, right? Another is indicating, direct speech. For example, when I say, she said, I love reading books. So words spoken by the individual are clearly delineated. They are, clearly explained. When we have to highlight specific words or phrases, then also we can use double quotation marks. Like I say, the word impossible means something different to me. I'm telling that I have a different idea of the word impossible. मेरे मायने कुछ और है शब्द इम्पॉसिबल के बारे में। तो शब्द इम्पॉसिबल या थॉट इम्पॉसिबल को मैं हाईलाइट करना चाहती हूँ तो मैं उसको डबल इन्वर्टेड कॉमास या कोटेशन मार्क्स में डाल दूंगी। तो कोटेशन मार्क्स की यूजेज आप जब कुछ डायरेक्ट स्पीच कोट करना चाहते हैं या जब कुछ हाईलाइट करना चाहते हैं तो आप कोटेशन मार्क्स का इस्तेमाल करेंगे। Now, moving forward to another punctuation mark, parenthesis. That is your bracket when you put something in bracket. Parenthesis is commonly used in writing to add extra information that is not essential to the main point, but that can provide additional context, right? For example, when I say she finally arrived, मेरा idea complete हो गया, she finally arrived. बट मैं अपने रीडर्स को ये भी बताना चाहती हूँ कि फाइनली अराइव्ड कैसे, तो फिर मैं पेरेंथेसिस में वो इंफॉर्मेशन डालूंगी आफ्टर मिसिंग 2 buses. ठीक है, मैं अपने रीडर्स को एक डायरेक्ट थॉट देना चाहती हूँ, शी फाइनली अराइव्ड, और पेरेंथेसिस में डाल रही हूँ फाइनली अराइव्ड आफ्टर मिसिंग 2 buses. Another usage of parenthesis, My brother is visiting soon. रीडर को बताना चाहती हूँ मेरा ब्रदर जल्दी आने वाला है to visit all of us. कौन से वाला ब्रदर है? Who lives in Canada. तो वो मैंने parenthesis में डाल दिया. मैं ये भी लिख सकती थी my brother who lives in Canada is visiting soon. बट उससे मेरी थोड़ी क्लैरिटी कम हो जाती. मेरे रीडर को डायरेक्ट ये मैसेज आ रहा है कि my brother is visiting soon. और फिर मेरा रीडर ये भी जान पा रहा है कि कौन से वाला ब्रदर who lives in Canada. So this was about the usage of the punctuation mark parenthesis. That is your round bracket. Now give me a thumbs up if you have gathered some idea about these punctuation marks. So we are proceeding further. The hyphen and the dash. Usage of hyphen. When we are using compound words like well known, right? Mother-in-law. So, when we make use of these complex words, we connect these complex words with hyphen. Then where do we use the dashes? Right? The dash emphasizes the duration of the commitment. Like, pay attention to the sentence. For instance, I knew the answer, dash, but I hesitated. Now here, there is a contrasting thought. I knew the answer. Other contrast is I hesitated. दोनों ideas को connect कर रहा है हमारा dash. Right? Dash indicates a different purpose. It indicates a pause in a sentence, giving some additional information. I knew the answer, dash, but I hesitated. So this was about the punctuation mark, hyphen and dash. Hyphen is used to express complex words, like we can say compound words also, right? Well known, mother-in-law, like that. Coming further to another punctuation mark, ellipses. Ellipses indicate omission or unfinished thought. I'm not sure. Then ellipses, maybe later. Somebody asked, Mom, are you going to send me the recorded lecture of yesterday? I'll say, I'm not sure. Then I think something in my mind and I'll say maybe later, right? Because I am not sure, because I don't know whether the lecture was recorded. I don't know whether I will get time. So I'll say, I'm not sure, ellipsis, maybe later. So this ellipsis, it demonstrates uncertainty, right? And it also reflects the potential for further conversation. Maybe later, मैं बाद में इस विषय के बारे में बताऊंगी. अभी I am not in a position to tell about it, right? So ellipses, they play a crucial role in conveying pauses and creating suspense also, right? And for example, to be or not to be. To be or not to be एक कोट है जिसका मतलब है कि आइडिया of confusion, right? Whether I should do this or I should not do this. I'm not sure. Ellipsis, maybe later. So ellipsis indicate करता है omission, unfinished thoughts. कहाँ पे use करता है, कैसे use करता है? You have been explained about this with two different examples, right? So when we talk about contractions, एक example है its or it apostrophe s, right? जो it's without the apostrophe है, it is a possessive form indicating ownership, while when we use contraction, it apostrophe s as a contraction is the full form of it is. So when we say it's a beautiful city, uska matlab hai it is a beautiful city, right? Are you able to understand? Similarly, let's and let apostrophe s. Let's जो है वो present tense है, ठीक है? Meaning to allow. जबकि let apostrophe s is a contraction for let us. Let's go to the park means let us go to the park. So these were the common punctuation mistakes which sometimes some of the students can make. So there was a clarity on this. So this was the lecture on your punctuation marks. They play a crucial role in writing. They bring about clarity and meaning. Key punctuation marks as we have discussed today: period, comma, question mark, exclamation mark, semicolon, parenthesis, ellipsis, etc., etc. Each punctuation mark has a distinct purpose, and when we use correct punctuation mark, our communication becomes effective. Incorrect punctuation leads to misunderstanding, misinterpretation. So what is your call to action to improve your writing skill? Make it a habit to practice using punctuation correctly. Whether you are writing emails, whether you are writing reports, or you are writing a scholarly paper, or you are also writing a chapter of your thesis or your entire thesis. So please, I would be sharing this video lecture to you, to all the batches, July, August, October, December, right? And go through it very seriously. Thank you so much.